Section 9 of Americans All, Immigrants All. This is the LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. This recording is by Mark Smith of Simpsonville, South Carolina. Americans All, Immigrants All, by the United States Department of the Interior, Office of Education. Section 9. Our Gifts to Science and to Agriculture. The broad brain and inventive genius of the immigrants and their descendants have made the United States a world leader in science and industry. In reading about this pageant of achievement, which is unique in human history, you will also learn something about the diverse racial origins of those who laid the gifts on the altar of America. Here they are, immigrants, sons of immigrants, and sons of immigrants. Men and women who have thrilled the worlds of science and industry, the arts and crafts, and social progress and government. The italics indicate the racial origin of each individual or a major racial group from which he is descended, although it should be kept in mind that a person's ancestors frequently include many racial strains. The achievements listed are suggestive rather than exhaustive. Medicine. Use of cocaine as local anesthetic first introduced by Karl Kohler, German Jew. Ether first demonstrated to the world in surgical operation by William Morton, a Scot. First successful operation on human heart performed by Daniel H. Williams, Negro. Schick diphtheria test developed by Dr. Bela Schick, Hungarian Jew. Pioneer work in antiseptics by Henry Banga, Swiss, and many lives saved during World War through contributions to aseptic surgery of Alexis Carrel, French. Preventive compound for cholera and typhoid fever discovered by F.G. Novi, Slovak. Apparatus for electric blood transfusion perfected by D.J. Calicchio, Italian. Charles and William Mayo, Irish, have made surgery almost as reliable a science as bookkeeping. Charles McBurney, Scotch-Irish, discovered McBurney's point as a sign for the necessity of operating for appendicitis. Discovery that the disease pellagra was due to faulty diet made by Joseph Goldberger, German Jew. Typhus and typhoid fever distinguished by Alfred Stille, Swede. Human blood classified in different types by Karl Landsteiner, Austrian Jew. Research work in combating syphilis and yellow fever by Hideo Noguchi, Japanese. Expert on infantile paralysis and meningitis is Simon Flexner, German Jew. First removal of human ovary by Ephraim McDowell, Scot. One of the famous authorities on plastic surgery is V. Kanzanjian, Armenian. World authority on venereal disease is Veki Victor, a Yugoslav. Edward Trudeau, French, began sanatorium treatment for tuberculosis. Clifford Beers, English Netherlander, founder of mental hygiene movement. Discovery that mosquitoes carried yellow fever made by Walter Reed, English. Malaria driven out of Panama by General William C. Gorgas, Scotch-Irish Netherlander. First hospital in colonies founded by Dr. Thomas Bond, Welsh. Physics. Our greatest electrical wizards have been Joseph Henry, Scotch-Irish, who helped to invent the telegraph; Charles Steinmetz, German-Polish, mathematical genius and electrical scientist who had one of the world's most inventive minds; Thomas Edison, Scot-Netherlander, who invented electric light bulb and phonograph; Michael Pupin, Yugoslav, who perfected tuning-in mechanism of radio; Nikola Tesla, Yugoslav, who made extensive use of electrical power possible; Vladimir Karapetov, Armenian, inventor of electrical devices; Most distinguished physicist on light rays is Albert A. Michelson, German Jew. On X-rays, Arthur H. Compton, English. On cosmic rays, Robert Millikan, Scotch-Irish. Outstanding investigator of Roentgen ray is Miran Kasabian, Armenian. Through work on electrotechnics, expansion of telephonic and telegraphic communication made possible by E.F.W. Alexanderson, Swede. John Crucy, Swiss, helped Edison develop electric incandescent lamp, dynamo, and phonograph. Astronomy. First observatory put up by Ephraim Williams, Welsh. Many of our early-day almanacs based on astronomical studies and computations of David Rittenhouse, German-Welsh. Lick Observatory, California, and Yerkes Observatory, Wisconsin, founded by James Lick and Charles Yerkes, Germans. For pictures of many of the stars, Dorothy Klumpke, German, achieved much fame. Famous mathematician and everyday almanac maker was Benjamin Banneker, Negro, who also helped L'Enfant, French, to lay out Washington, D.C. Chemistry. Ephedrine, drug used as base for cold remedies, discovered by K.K. Chen, Chinese. Adrenaline and diastase, discovered by Jokichi Takamine, Japanese. Grape sugar changed into tartaric acid by Musheg Vegoni, Armenian. George Washington Carver, Negro, made 145 products from peanut, 100 products from sweet potato, and 60 products from the pecan. Fermented milk product of high curative values discovered by H.M. Dudurian, Armenian. Exploration. A pilot on one of Columbus's ships was Pedro Alonso, Negro. First explorers in New Mexico led by Estevanico, Moroccan. First settlers of Alabama, who accompanied De Soto in 1540, were Robles, Negro, and Ferriata, Greek. First reliable map of Virginia and Maryland made by Augustine Hermann, Czech. Lewis, Welsh, and Clark, English, led the famous expedition to the Northwest. 1903 Ziegler expedition to the North Pole led by Anthony Fiala, Czech. North Pole discovered by Robert Peary, French-English, accompanied by Matthew Henson, Negro. First to fly across South Pole was Richard Byrd, English. Other sciences. First of American geologists was William McClure, Scott. The great naturalist John J. Audubon, French-Spanish, taught us about birds of America. Many inspired to study natural sciences by Louis Agassiz, French. Henry D. Thoreau, Huguenot, was great naturalist and writer. Famous anthropologists are Franz Boas and Edward Sapir, German Jews, and Alice Rydlicka, Czech. International authority on zoology and botany is Leonhard Steiniger, Norwegian. Expert on function of cell and fertilization is Ernest Just, Negro. First botanical garden in world founded near Philadelphia by John Bartram, Welsh, early in 18th century. Public garden, established in Georgia by General Oglethorpe, English, served as our first agricultural experiment station. Scientific breeding of plants demonstrated by Luther Burbank, English, French, Netherlander, Scott. Philosophers. Famous philosophers: William James, Welsh-English, John Dewey, Irish, Santayana, Spaniard, Jiddu Krishnamurti, Hindu. Agriculture. First vineyard in our country was set out by Jean-Jacques Dufour, Swiss. Oranges, olives, dates, and grapes were brought to California by Fray Junipero Serra, Spaniard. Fig cuttings were imported by Nedetovich of Fresno, Yugoslav. Wild strawberry developed into large table variety by Johann Schwerdkopf, German, who came to Long Island before Revolutionary War. Alfalfa seed, known as lucerne, brought to Minnesota and developed by Wendell and Grimm, German, in 1858. Hardy alfalfa for prairies of Northwest, brought from Siberia and Turkestan by Niels Hansen, Dane. Mower and reaper invented by Cyrus McCormick, Scotch-Irish. Simple tests to determine whether soil needs nitrogen, phosphates, or potash, devised by George Hofer, German. Pasteurization introduced by Julius Moldenhauer, Dane. Orange that will stay on tree for months after ripening, propagated by Liu Gim Gong, Chinese. Honey industry revolutionized by Frank Jaeger, Yugoslav. Early cooperative creamery at Clarks Grove, Minnesota, organized under leadership of Hans Jensen, Dane. First to find Trichina spiralis in hogs and hookworm in cats was Joseph Leidy, German. International Institute of Agriculture, established by David Lubin, Polish Jew. End of section. Section 10 of Americans All, Immigrants All. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. This recording is by Mark Smith of Simpsonville, South Carolina. Americans All, Immigrants All, by the U.S. Department of the Interior, Office of Education. Section 10. Our Gifts to Industry and Commerce. Inventions. First clock in America, constructed to strike the hours, built by Benjamin Banneker, Negro, in 1790. Early flour milling machinery by Oliver Evans, Welsh. Iron comb, made by a Negro to help cotton pickers, gave Eli Whitney, English, idea for his cotton gin. Screw propeller and revolving turret on battleship, invented by John Ericsson, Swede. First patent to a Negro granted to Henry Blair for corn harvester in 1834. Comb-making machinery built by Nathaniel Jones, Welsh. First zipper fastener invented by Gideon Sundbake, Swede. Green coloring matter used in our paper dollar invented by Dr. Seropian, Armenian. Machine for lasting shoes built by Jan Matzeliger, Haitian, in 1852. Self-starter automobile clutch invented by Victor Bendix, Swede. Also developed four-wheel brakes and carburetor. Steam boiler furnace, electrical air brakes, and incubator invented by Granville T. Woods, Negro. Inventor of carborundum was E.G. Atchison, English. Sewing machine invented by Elias Howe, English, in 1846. Lubricating cup used on locomotives and marine engines invented by Elijah J. McCoy, Negro. Discovery of artificial rubber by Father Newland of Notre Dame, Belgian, broke the British hold on rubber. Induction motors invented by Nikola Tesla, Yugoslav. Co-discoverer of process for making luminous paints was John Soshaki, Ukrainian. Fireproof stairs and library book stacks invented by Niels Poulsen, Dane. Stilson wrench invented by Daniel Stilson, Swede, in 1875. Bakelite, a substitute used for ivory and bone in making toilet articles, invented by Leo Baekeland, German. He discovered Velox, a paper used by photographers, and made several other discoveries through experimenting with the electrolytic cell. One of our earliest elevators was built by Dr. Niels Collins, Swede, a Philadelphia pastor. The condenser used in radios and electric motors is the result of work done by Alexander Georgiev, Bulgarian. Numerous inventions of a wide and varied nature in connection with steam turbines were developed by Oskar Ljunggren and by Carl Soderberg, Swedes. Huge machines used for knitting are the invention of Ladislaus Robochinsky, Armenian. Outstanding typewriter designer is Carl Gabrielsson, Swede. Air brake invented by George Westinghouse, English Netherlander. Scientific divining rod used in electromagnetic method of locating metal ore, petroleum, and other minerals, devised by Hans Lundberg and Carl Sundberg, Swedes. In inventing telephone transmitter and motion picture projector, Edison, Scott, Netherlander, helped by Emil Berliner, German Jew. Accuracy gauges from which precision machinery is made, invented by Carl Johansson, Swede. Process for making artificial stone, invented by Michael Timofeyev, Ukrainian. Pioneer in radio work and sound motion pictures was Lee de Forest, French-English. Transportation. First steamboat built and taken down Ohio and Mississippi by Nicholas Roosevelt, Netherlander. First elevated railroad in New York City was built by José Francisco de Navarro, a Spaniard, in 1878. First demonstration of steam railroad in practice by John Stevens, English, in 1825. The Clermont, our first commercially successful steamboat, built by Robert Fulton, Irish. Greatest of clipper ships, Rainbow and Sea Witch, built by John Griffith, Welsh. Wagons and automobiles produced by Studebaker Brothers, German. Inventor of modern suspension bridge was John Roebling, German, who built beautiful Brooklyn Bridge. The Niagara Cantilever Bridge for heavy railroad traffic, invented by Charles Schneider, German. The Northwest opened up by railroad builder James J. Hill, Scotch-Irish. Transatlantic flyer Charles Lindbergh and airship commander Charles Rosendahl, Swedes. Manufacturing. Window glass manufactured by Caspar Wistar, German, in 1739. Decorative stoves and glass of highly prized nature manufactured in 18th century by Heinrich Stiegel, German. The New England cotton mills established by Samuel Slater, English. First to unite all processes for manufacturing finished cloth in one factory was Patrick Jackson, Irish. Art of making gunpowder perfected by Éleuthère du Pont, French. Great Steel Works of Pittsburgh founded by Andrew Carnegie, Scott, assisted by William Jones, Welsh. Iron and Steel Industries of Pueblo, Colorado, established by Daniel Jones, Welsh. Famous pioneer organ builder Matthias Müller, a Dane. Pianos and other instruments by Steinway, Neba, Weber, Wurlitzer, Gemunder, Germans. Steel manufactured by Charles Schwab, German. Sugar produced by Havemeyer, German. Food products by Heinz and Fleischmann, Germans. World-noted cymbals made by Zildigian, Armenian. Airplane builders are Igor Sigorsky, Russian, Belanca, Italian, Douglas, Scot, Boeing, German, and Curtiss, English-German. Communication. The telephone was invented by Alexander Graham Bell, Scot. The telegraph was invention of Joseph Henry and Samuel Morse, Scotch-Irish. Steam cylinder printing press, making possible our great daily newspapers, was brainchild of Robert Hoe, English. Erie Canal built by DeWitt Clinton, Irish Netherlander. Long-distance telephone and wireless telegraphy made possible by Michael Pupin, Yugoslav. Inventor of wireless switch was Fritz Lowenstein, German Jew. New device for transmitting radio photographs by Arthur Korn, German Jew. Loudspeaker invented by Peter Jensen, Dane. Sworkin, Russian, pioneered in television. First printing press imported to California by Agustin Zamorana, Spaniard. Commerce. One of the largest cotton gins owned by Scott Bond, Negro. Our leading industrialists include Astor, Vanderbilt, and Rockefeller, Germans, Julius Rosenwald, Chicago mail-order executive, German Jew, Alfred Knudsen, Dane, automobile manufacturing executive. Leading rug merchants are Karagusian, Gulbenkian, Kalekian, and Pushman, Armenians. Leading linen and lace merchants are Maluk Kassab, Bardwill, Jabara, Mamre, and Boutros, Syrians. Largest raiser of orchids and specialist in cacti is J. A. Manda, Yugoslav. First American circus opened in Baraboo, Wisconsin in 1854 by Ringling Brothers, German. Virginia tobacco trade founded by Augustine Hermann, Czech. Gas first introduced in 1830 by Edward Jones, Welsh, in Boston. Mining. First oil well drilled at Titusville, Pennsylvania by Edwin Drake, English, in 1859. In Texas, oil was first struck by Anthony F. Lucas, Yugoslav. Coal in Pennsylvania first discovered by William Jones, Welsh. Pioneer miner of Colorado was Vaso Chekovic, Yugoslav. First California gold found on ranch of John Sutter, German-Swiss. Eminent mining industrialists include Simon and Daniel Guggenheim, Swiss Jews, and Adolf Lewinsohn, German Jew. Banking. Leading bankers include J. Pierpont Morgan, Welsh, Nathan Strauss, Felix Warburg, Jacob Schiff, Otto Kahn, and James Spire, German Jews. Charles G. Dawes, English, Amadeo Giannini, Italian, and Jesse Jones, Welsh. Building. First American iron seagoing steamship built in 1859 by José Francisco de Navarro, Spaniard, who also laid foundation of cement business in this country. Panama Canal built by General Goethals, Netherlander. George Washington Bridge built by Othmar Ammann, Swiss. Manhattan Bridge in New York and Interstate Bridge connecting Philadelphia and Camden built by Leon Moisseff, Russian. Hetch Hetchy water system from Sierra Nevada to San Francisco built by Michael O'Shaughnessy, Irish. Ralph Modjeski, Polish Jew, Chairman, Board of Engineers, San Francisco Oakland Bridge. Peter Demyanov, Russian, railroad builder. End of section.